What's up, everybody? Today we're taking a look at the Kwilt app and devices. If you follow my channel, I unboxed these a couple weeks ago, and so now I've had time to play with them, use them, and so this is the review slash walkthrough of the devices themselves. So I'm using my iPad here. This also works on Android, so I'll go ahead and go into the Kwilt app itself. So here we have a grid of photos. You can see some of these have little Apple icons in the bottom corner. Some have little Kwilt icons. That basically tells you where the file or photo is actually stored, and moving photos from the iPad to the Kwilt and also on Android devices. Basically the same process. It's very simple. All you do is hit select up here and select the files you want to move over, and then hit this little share button at the bottom, and then you can hit play. The Kwilt has an HDMI port out, and I'll show the functionality of that in a little bit, but for now we're just going to copy these to the Kwilt device. So go ahead and hit copy to Kwilt. Go ahead and do custom settings. Right now I only have the Kwilt 3 plugged in, which is the one that's selected right here. The Kwilt 2 is the one that has a 2 on it. I should have put a 3 after the Kwilt 3, but I didn't think of it at the time. But anyways, so that's the one that's plugged in right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit next. You see now it is copying stuff over. If you want to keep going through and looking at other photos and stuff, you can hit go back to browsing. You can't close out the app though, because it will stop transferring, but it's really fast. So you see once it's copied over, would you like to delete the copied items from mobile? Just hit yes. So now we go back here and you see the files now have little Kwilt icons in the bottom left. And just to verify, I'll go ahead and go to my photos, and those photos are not here. Now obviously with videos or bigger photo files, this is gonna take a little longer, but this is excellent, especially if you have a smaller storage iPad, if you wanted to save some money, which is what I did. I got the 64 gig instead of the 256 or 512, whatever. And so copying stuff off of the iPad onto the Kwilt storage is just super convenient, and it's awesome. And the fact that each Kwilt comes with its own little USB stick where you can plug in your own external hard drive is just really cool. If you want to, tap up here where it says Kwilt, and you can see just what's on your Kwilt, just what's on your iPad. And if I had the other one plugged in, it would show up here as an option too. But if I just hit that, it's only what's on my Kwilt. If I just hit that, it's only what's on my iPad. So go ahead and hit done. And like I said, this is really simple to do, and the files live on your Kwilt, but if you need to, you can tap on a file and then hit the little share button. You got some options here. You can order prints, which is really nice. You can edit it, you can create a link, or you just hit more, and then you just it brings up the usual iOS share control panel, and then you can just share it out that way. Makes it easy to interact with files that you have on your Kwilt without having to move them back over to your iPad or your iPhone or Android device, what have you. So that's basically a look at the app and functionality. So I'll go ahead and now I'm gonna switch over to my camera. So I'm gonna show the Kwilt on my TV and just show you how that works and what that functionality does. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch to my camera now. Okay, so here we see the Kwilt logo on my TV, and I'm gonna show what it looks like when you wanna send a video or picture over to it. So here I have my Pixel 3. So what we do basically just open the Kwilt app. So here's a picture loaded up. Hit this button right here and hit play. So we get our little loading icon, and now the photo is on my TV. This also works with videos as well. So this is a cool way to do slideshows and share photos. All right, so overall, I'm pretty happy with the Kwilt 2 and 3. That's not to say that there aren't room for improvements. I have reached out to the developers, and they have told me that updates are coming. Some of the things that I notified them about that I had experiences with were app crashes both on iOS and Android. Another thing that happened, some of the preferences would just get reset, again, both on iOS and Android. They're working on updates to the app and to the software on the Kwilts themselves. The Kwilt 2 setup was pretty much really easy. I only had to try connecting to it twice, but then as soon as I connected to it the second time, it set up quickly and easily. The Kwilt 3 though, for whatever reason, I had to go through the setup process about 4 or 5 times before it would actually show up on my network and in my app as one of my devices. And that was the first one I did too, so it's not like there was any sort of interference from the Kwilt 2. So, and again, the developers are also working on updates to the devices themselves to make the update process or the setup process a lot easier, more seamless moving forward. I still really like the devices, especially having a 64 gig iPad, and I knew going into that device I was gonna have to find some way of constantly transferring stuff off of it, because 64 gigs when you're editing videos and stuff is pretty small. And so I was really fortunate that the people that were working with Kwilt on this social media advertising campaign reached out to me, because this was like exactly what I was looking for, something that I could easily use, you know, in my day-to-day, including in my workflow of, you know, once I've finished producing a video, I just transfer it off my iPad and onto the Kwilt, and it's really nice. You know, the Kwilt is sitting in my office and I'm lying in bed and I just take videos off my iPad and send them over to the Kwilt. It's cool because you can basically have this little cloud in your home, and other users in your home can connect to it and watch videos that are on there. Yeah, it's just super easy overall. And like I said, you know, the setup issues, once it is set up, you don't really have to mess with it again. Even if you unplug it and then plug it back in, it's set up. Like, you don't have to go through that again. And so that was really nice, because I did move the devices around, you know, to hook them up to my TV, to set them up in my office, and just to try them at different ranges over Wi-Fi. And I never really had any issues with them after they were set up. And again, the only negatives that I dealt with were the initial setup with the Kwilt 3, and using the app on occasion it would just crash randomly. So overall, I'll give this product 1.5 thumbs up. Like I said, I reached out to developers and they're working on updates for both of these devices, and so it's only going to get better from here on out. Definitely looking forward to those updates, and I would definitely recommend this if you're looking for an in-home cloud solution, don't want to spend money on iCloud upgrades, or, you know, paying for Amazon web storage, or you don't want to deal with Google Photos. This is a nice alternative. The fact that you get so many ports, an SD card slot, the HDMI out is really cool too. So just a lot of cool features. And again, these were sent to me, but they're not paying me to do this review. They're not forcing me to give any sort of positive review. They just asked me to take a look at them and give my honest opinion. And so there you have it. It's been a look at the Kwilt 2 and 3 software experience. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, make sure to hit that subscribe button. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So until next time, take care.